All right, welcome everybody. My name is Tyler Garnes. I'm the founder and CEO at BoxUp Marketing. And today's topic for the global user group meeting is 5 simple list building strategies that work for any business. Now, lead generation and list building is a massive topic, right? We could give a 2-week long, full day, everyday course on this topic alone. So I'm not going to try and dive super deep into all the aspects of this topic in just one short webinar. What I'm hoping to do is share a few simple ideas that you can go and execute on like today. Things that hopefully you're able to add to your current arsenal of lead generation strategies where you go, oh, that's one good little idea that I can go take and implement in my business today. We're not going to get into super detailed weeds on this stuff. It gets very, very complex if we dive into all the different types of lead generation strategies you can use and the analytics and all of those types of things. Again, my hope is that you can walk away with 1 or 2 simple little ideas that you can go execute on that will make a difference, that will help you capture more leads, build your list, and grow your business through that foundation. So let's dive right into this. The agenda for today is, first, I want to cover one really, really important topic of what you need to do before you try and go out and get leads by driving traffic or advertising or things like that. Then we're going to go over lead sources that won't cost you a dime. Now, our audience here is small business owners. We're all interested in getting leads that don't cost us much. So there's various different strategies you can use to do that. I'm going to share a couple with you that are very simple and easy to execute on. Then we're going to go over some social media strategies that work for you and not against you. Social media can be a bit of a trap for some businesses. And so we're going to go over how to do that correctly. If it's something that makes sense in your business, and it doesn't for every business, we'll talk about why. We'll talk about SEO. SEO, of course, was a key strategy years ago, something you could really manipulate. It's gotten a little bit different, but again, we'll share some very simple things that you should be doing in your business to make sure that you're leveraging that source of traffic the best you can in your business. We're going to talk about how to determine where to focus advertising for leads and where not to. This is a big question in most people's minds when you're trying to grow your business. Well, what should I invest in? Should I buy a radio ad? Should I advertise on Facebook? Should I advertise on Twitter, Google, Pinterest? What should I be doing? What's going to work best for me? We're going to show you how you can determine what's best in your business. And then last, we're going to talk about maximizing your landing pages to convert better traffic, or to better convert traffic. Actually, I've changed the order of that last minute. That one is going to be right after bullet point number 1. We're going to talk about landing pages and how you can create great landing pages that convert traffic well. Okay, so the first thing that you need to do is this. You've got to research your target market to understand the psychographics. Okay, this is such an important piece. I see people all the time going out and starting advertising campaigns or starting lead generation strategies without really understanding the target market. And if your message is off, if you're not fully correctly understanding your target and what they want, what they need, then you're going to be off. I see this happen all the time with people who have been in business for a day, as well as people who have been in business for years and years and years. See, when we operate inside of our businesses, we think about the problems differently than our prospects do. And in fact, it might be the case that the longer we're inside of our business, the more insular our thinking becomes. The more we think we fully understand our prospects, and actually the less we do, because we grow more and more and more focused on what our business does, not the problems that our customers have and how they want them to be solved. So it's important to do some research to really understand the psychographics of your customer. What are psychographics? It's their pains, their desires, their thought processes, their interests, around the topic that you deal with. So it's really important to understand that. I like to do customer interviews, call up past customers, talk to them about why they bought, what were they dealing with, what were the problems they were having, what struggles were they dealing with, how was it affecting their personal life, their business life, whatever it may be. And you get them talking and you record their words. And their phrases are the types of phrases you want to turn around back to your future customers in the advertisements that you create. All right, next is you need to create a lead magnet they really want that you can deliver for free, right? So again, going back to the psychographics, once we understand really what they want and really what their pains are, we can create a really good lead magnet. Now, don't fall into the trap of thinking, well, I can just create a free ebook or a white paper or whatever because that's what everyone does. Well, just because everyone does it doesn't mean it's a great idea. And in fact, since everyone's doing it, you're not unique by just offering up a free report. So we'll talk about some different ideas there as well. But think creatively. How can you really help solve a problem in a creative way? And how can you do that for free? And ideally, you want to do that for free in a way that generates demand for your actual product or service, for your offer, right? So if your lead magnet somehow gets your prospect thinking about and desiring what you offer as a paid service or a paid product, that's the ideal scenario. So hopefully it helps them solve a problem. But in solving a problem, it might create the next problem. So let's just say that I have a service for helping you convert the leads that you have, right? And that's the service that I sell. If I give you a white paper on how to generate more leads, right? Or a video or a course or a quiz on how well you're doing with your lead generation, and I teach you a few things that help you get more leads, well, that's going to create the next problem, right? If you've got a lot of leads, but you're not converting them well, then now you have a problem that I can solve with my service that I charge for. Does that make sense? So that way you tee up a lead magnet that leads them directly into your product or service. Okay, next and lastly, you need to create compelling landing pages to offer your lead magnet. Okay, if your landing page isn't compelling, it's not exciting, no one's going to request your lead magnet. So this is a really, really key part of it. And obviously it goes back to the psychographics. You've got to get the psychographics right, so therefore you can get the message right on your landing pages. Then your landing pages need to be designed well so that opt-in is smooth and easy and the message is clear and all of those types of things. So let's take a look at some examples of landing pages. I want to go through some examples of landing pages. We'll talk about the strategies, the layouts, and things like that. And hopefully you pick up a few ideas from these examples. These are great examples of different types of landing pages offering different types of lead magnets as well. Okay, so first is Wistia. If you're not familiar with Wistia, it's a video platform. It's a very well-known video platform, video hosting platform, okay? And so what they're offering here is a free trial. Now, obviously, if you drove traffic directly to this page and the person didn't know what Wistia was, that would be a problem because it doesn't clearly explain, hey, sign up for a free Wistia account, which does video hosting. It doesn't actually say anything about video hosting. And so someone needs to get to this page through another medium. Another medium might be another page. It might be a banner that says, hey, sign up for a free video hosting account. Or they just already know about Wistia. Maybe they're on Wistia's list, or maybe they're on someone else's list who promotes by email and says, hey, you should sign up for a free Wistia account to host your videos. So they've got to come in this scenario. They need to come already knowing what Wistia is. But if you've got a brand like Wistia, where a lot of people already know who you are, then driving people into a very simple sign-up page like this is a great lead magnet, right? No sense creating a white paper, creating a video series, all those types of things. Now, those might be good in addition to doing this, but if you can offer a free trial of your product or service and get people straight into it, and it's the type of free trial that's compelling and exciting and people really like it, then that's a great opportunity for a very simple lead magnet. No sense putting other steps in the way when people can just sign up for it and get going. Okay, so they've got the simple form, very basic design, no distractions. Down below, a couple of questions that they're answering just to remove doubts from people's mind. This is an important part of the conversion process. People are always going to be skeptical, or they're always going to have questions about what you're offering. And so they're addressing the top three questions here. Like, is there a catch? Nope, there's no catch. Are there any limits? And then it tells you what the limits are for the free plan. Do I have to worry about you selling my email or data? Right? So they're addressing those key concerns so that people can feel comfortable. Okay, I feel good about that. I'm going to go ahead and sign up. All right, let's take a look at another example, a little bit different of an example. So this is opting into a free course. Okay, so they've created a course on landing pages and how you can get higher conversions from your landing pages. So that is the headline. So this is a key part of understanding the demographics, right? If I were promoting this course, you all who are on this webinar might be a really good audience, right? You've responded to a webinar that we're doing now on 5 simple lead generation strategies. So getting conversions from your landing pages might be a topic that is hot and on your mind right now. So the headline is solid and doesn't really require a whole lot more explanation. Get higher conversions from your landing pages. Great. I'm interested. I'm in. Sign me up, right? Click here to start now. Again, very simple, no distractions. Now, if someone has questions, then that's what is down below. What's in the course? And then it goes through the different modules. Here are the different modules and a little summary on each one. And then also down below, you can see landing page insights from 10 conversion experts. And a lot of those are very well-known names, important people who've been in this industry a long time. So you look at that and you go, oh, wow, this is like backed by the actual experts. This isn't just something that someone threw together, right? And then down below, a little summary on the person who's put it all together. And then again, another call to action. In case someone has scrolled down to that point, now all of their answers, all of their questions are answered. No need for them to scroll back up. They can start right there by clicking the button. Now that would then pop open a light box. You put in your basic information and you're on into the course. So that's a great example there of very simple, strong headline and call to action at the top, and then supporting information down below. Okay, here's another one where it's a slightly different layout. You've got a strong headline, get even more leads from your blog, with a little graphic there. And then down below, you've got kind of your standard landing page copy, right? You've got a subheadline, you got a couple of paragraphs of basic copy, and then you've got your bullet pointed list. Your bullet pointed list is, here's what you're going to get if you sign up for this here. And then in their case, they're asking for what in most cases I would suggest is too many fields. First, last, email, company name, and website. Now it might be that they're targeting an audience of, maybe it's bigger businesses. And so it's often a marketing manager or something like that. And they're really trying to find the highest quality leads, not so much the volume of leads. So that's something that you can change on your landing pages when you are doing testing. If you're getting too many leads and they're not very qualified, then add more fields. If you're not getting enough leads, then you can go ahead and reduce the number of fields and maybe just go with email address or simply first name and email address. Okay, so another important part of this here is that this form is above the fold. So people don't have to scroll down. They can see the form right then and there and they can act on it. All right, here's Trulia. Trulia is a real estate website. Again, this is a very, very simple option here. It's great. I love it. It's so simple, right? So you got Trulia, the logo. How much is your home worth? If someone's thinking of selling their home, then that is the question on their mind. How much is my home worth? What should I list it at? What's the best range I should list it at? Should I start high and then drop it down? Should I start medium and go for a quick sale? There's a lot of questions there, but it starts with how much is your home worth? And so they enter an email address and they get a personalized estimate right then and there. So that's a great way to very, very simply just get people in the door. Now, if you want to collect additional information later, you can do that on the back end, on the thank you page, right? Collect the, oh, actually, this is asking for an address. I apologize. So they're going for the address first, and then in order to get your estimate, you have to put in your email address. But you could also do it the other way around. Put in the email address first, capture the lead, and then get the address on the second step. And then if they don't fill out the second step, you could follow up with them via email. So you could test both those different ways and see which way brings in the best leads. All right, and then here's the second stage for them. You've got the type of property, some details there. Tell us where to send the report. Here's the name, email address, and phone number. So that becomes a great real estate lead. Now this company, Trulia, like many other real estate websites, they're basically collecting those leads and selling them to realtors in that area. Which is the way that kind of works. But you see the strategy, you see the idea behind it. Start off with very, very simple, low barrier to entry, just one field. You enter that in to get your personalized report, and then on the thank you page, you follow up to get additional information. This is a very effective strategy if you're doing some segmentation. You want to capture a bunch of different information about your leads to segment them down into different funnels. Don't ask for all that information up front. Just get email address and then follow up with a detailed form on the back end. All right, here's another very simple option. It says, get a free strategic analysis of your SEO and content marketing. And so they've got a little image of Google search there. And then you've got step 1, enter your website address. So again, here's the same type of strategy where you're going for the one piece of information first that's not the email address. And then you hit next. And when you go to next step, you're going to be asked for your contact information. If we scroll down again, you've got some question answering that we're doing. We're trying to remove those doubts and those concerns, and actually in this case, we're trying to spark some interest or spark some concern about our SEO strategy. And then down below, again, we've got another call to action there in that yellow section. Get a free analysis now, and some supporting evidence is always important as well. So here they've got awards and certifications, and then they've got what clients say down below. So if you've got testimonials, if you've got awards, certifications, things like that, you want to list it all there as well so that people are feeling confident about opting into your form. So to summarize those different examples, let's just go over the features of good landing pages. First, simple. I see a lot of landing pages where people just try and throw out too much information. You get feature creep is what I call it. People want to talk about the features of their product or their service or their white paper or their ebook or their course, talk about all the features and all the great stuff that you're going to get. And that's not always the most important thing. What's most important is that people can see what problem you're going to solve for them. And you can talk about how later, but if you can say, hey, you've got this problem, we can solve it, opt in here. You just want to keep it super simple, both in the copy as well as in the design. Compelling headline. That headline has to be compelling. It's got to get people to act. And then you need your key actionable information, meaning the form, to be above the fold. So that button that people are going to hit to enter, or the form itself, all needs to be above the fold. So your main idea and your compelling headline and your form or button all above the fold is really important. If people have to scroll down past a bunch of information just to opt in, many people won't. Or they might like what you're offering, but they don't even see the call to action, and so they hit the back button. All right, and then your supporting information can be down below, answering questions, showing your social proof, awards and certifications, all of those types of things can be down below in case someone's interested, but they're just not quite ready yet. They happen to scroll down below and they find that information there. Okay, so now that we've covered understanding how to put together a landing page so that when you drive that traffic, you actually get opt-ins, let's take a look at these key things that you can be doing, these various different strategies. So first thing is lead sources that won't cost you a dime. Where can you go get free traffic or free leads? Now, the first thing, the most important and most effective way to get high quality leads fast is to work with partners, JV partners, referral partners, affiliates, etc. Now, I talk to a lot of small business owners, and oftentimes when I bring up this idea, people are excited about it, and we brainstorm ideas about different types of partners they could leverage. And then other times people immediately discount the idea. Well, I can't do that. My business has restrictions, or my industry has restrictions, or that won't work in our business, or our customers won't refer, or whatever. There seems to be, in some cases, just an immediate rejection of the idea. And I don't buy that, because I've been able to find ways to partner with other people in just about every business that we've ever worked with. So don't shut your mind to this idea. What you need if you're going to approach partners is to have an automated tracking system in place. So you need something like Infusionsoft where you can track clicks, opt-ins, conversions, sales. If you're going to pay a commission, now you won't always pay a commission. Sometimes you just do favors for each other. Hey, you help me promote this, I'll help you promote that. In industries where there might be some regulations, you might have to do it that way. But you still want an automated system in place so that you can track performance even if you're not going to be tracking commissions. You also want that automated system in place so that you have automated follow-up for the leads that your partners drive, right? And then you also want to have an automated way to thank partners and follow up to encourage them. And so we have, for example, a little program in place for our clients. When a client refers someone to us, and they don't necessarily know this, we want it to be an added little surprise for them. But when a client refers a friend to us and that friend ends up signing up, we send a little thank you card in the mail along with some brownies. So that our client gets that, and it just says, hey, thanks so much for trusting us, type of thing. And that's a welcome little surprise for our clients. And it makes it so that they're actually more likely to give us referrals going forward. Not because they want to give us a referral so that they get brownies, but it's because they feel appreciated. And they like feeling appreciated, and that just feels good, and so they do it more. And so you want to have all of that set up to really maximize the effectiveness of a partner relationship. Now, another thing that often gets discounted as well is using local networking, your local chamber of commerce, networking events, things like that. We all would love the dream of an automated business, right? That's the dream that we buy when we buy Infusionsoft. Hey, I just want to automate everything so that I can go surfing, and while I'm on the beach, the leads and the money just flow in. Now, that's a great ideal, and we can always be working towards that, and Infusionsoft can help us with that a lot. But the truth of the matter is, sometimes we just got to go pound the pavement. And really, networking in person, going to chamber events, can be one of the most effective ways to get local business. Reason being is when we shake hands with someone and look them in the eye, there's a level of trust that can be built there that is much, much stronger and happens much, much faster than when we send someone an email or someone ends up on our landing page, they don't know who we are, and they opt in. So don't discount this option for you. It's a great and very effective way to generate business in your local area if you're a local business type of entity. Okay, so again, what you need to do in this case is you need to have a simple way to follow up. I've done this, and I've talked to many, many business owners who have done this, and that is, you go to a networking event, you come home with a stack of business cards, you intend to follow up with them, and then that stack just sits on your desk, and day after day after day, you have intentions of following up, but there's other things going on, and eventually those leads go cold, and you throw away the stack of business cards. So you need to have a very simple way to follow up with them so that that happens automatically, and those leads don't go to waste. Okay, so what I recommend is to use Snap, which is a mobile app by Infusionsoft, plus SMS plus a phone call, and then drive those people into an indoctrination and conversion sequence. So what does that mean? Snap is a mobile app that allows you to take a picture of a business card, and then that information ends up in your Infusionsoft account. I'll show you an example of it in just a moment. But as soon as you get home from a networking event, or even while you're there, snap the business cards, get them into Infusionsoft. In that Infusionsoft campaign, immediately, or maybe timed the next day, or however you want to schedule it, send a text message follow-up to that person. So that happens automatically out of Infusionsoft, connected with something like Fix Your Funnel. And so that person gets an immediate follow-up, or at least at the next day, follow-up text from you saying, hey, it was great to meet you at the Chamber of Commerce event last night. I'll be giving you a phone call later today at this number, boom, 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 and put out the number so that they can recognize it when you call in. Okay, and then follow up with them later that day. Now, whether or not they end up becoming a customer, you're probably not going to know right away, and so you want to flow them into an indoctrination sequence, which then runs maybe an offer sequence or a push to a consultation or something like that, so that if you don't get them on the phone, all of that gets taken care of as well. So if you build that process in Infusionsoft, which is very simple to do, then when you go to networking events, it's very easy to follow up. It just becomes automatic. You just snap all those cards, put them right into Infusionsoft, put them into that campaign, and it just runs. So here's what this looks like. Here's Snap. So when you open up the Snap app, it looks like this. You tap on Snap Cards, and then you have a little camera, and you aim it at the business card, and you take a picture of it. And then when you take a picture of it, it'll say awaiting processing. And you wait. Sometimes it might just be a few minutes. Sometimes it's a few hours. It depends. It's going somewhere where someone's transcribing that information, typing it up. So I have to wait for someone to type it up. It comes back in a little bit, and then it'll say needs review. So you tap on that card that needs review, and you can review all of the information there. And then you can add tags. So you see that little link at the top, add tags, and that's where you're going to use a trigger tag to start a particular follow-up campaign. And then down below, you're going to check that little box that says, I have permission to send marketing to this address. If you don't check that, then they will be entered as unmarketable and the emails won't go out, of course. Okay. And then once you do that, you submit it and it goes into that campaign. So it's a very, very effective way of getting local business into your Infusionsoft and following up with them effectively. Okay, so next is organic web traffic. Now I mentioned SEO earlier, and I mentioned that in the old days, SEO was an awesome thing for internet marketers, right? I mean, I remember back in 2000, 2001, pulling SEO tricks that, within a day or two, you could be right at the top of Google and Yahoo results without too much trouble. You just do a bunch of keyword stuffing, and it worked. And the search engines weren't yet savvy enough to figure that out and block those results. And so it used to be a very easy thing to game. Nowadays, it's gotten very difficult. Not difficult, it's just that it's different, and you really need to play by the rules. So with organic web traffic, we'll break it up into a couple different groups here. Organic, or SEO, search, and then also social media, which we'll discuss. And so you want to determine where your time is best spent and focus there. If your SEO in your industry, in the SEO world, is very, very, very competitive, and there's just no chance of you getting to the front page, or even in the top 5 results, it's probably not worth your time. You'll spend a lot of time and effort and not get there. And so don't waste your time. And then again, with social media, if your audience isn't engaged on social media, you may not want to spend your time there. And you also, I'm just warning you, don't do stuff with unfounded hope just because it works for someone else. I see this all the time. You talk to a friend says, oh yeah, we got a Pinterest account and we set it up and we're doing X, Y, Z. And so you go home and maybe you've got a B2B business talking to male executives. And you go and fire up a Pinterest account. They're just not on Pinterest. It just doesn't work. And so don't follow strategies promoted by someone else just because they said it works. We really need to look at it and see, hey, will this work in my industry for my business? And maybe even do some testing. But organic traffic, whether it's coming from social or from search, can be a very effective source of traffic for you. So let's talk about those in just a little bit here. Let's dive into referral campaigns. This is another area where we can leverage our happy customers to get referrals, of course. I mentioned what we do earlier about sending the brownies. But also don't forget to leverage your leads. This is a tactic that I don't see people using very often. We've used it very effectively for ourselves and for some of our clients as well. So let me show you an example. Here's a landing page that we created last year to offer a short course on how to create good-looking emails with Infusionsoft, and it also comes with 198 free images that you can use in your emails. And so you just hit Get Instant Access, you opt in, and then on the thank you page, it says, now that you have access to this short course and 198 images to beautify your emails, please pay it forward by sending them as a gift to a friend. And so then you click that button, another form pops up, and you enter in your friend's information, and it sends that same course information to your friend. And so that generates another lead. So you had one opt-in, that one opt-in now enters another friend, and now you've got 2 opt-ins. And so that's a great way to turn your existing traffic and leads into more leads. Now, we ran that particular campaign just for a short amount of time, but it generated 98 free leads, so 98 referrals, and $13,104 in free revenue. So, you might say, hey, look, that's not, people are just going to put bogus information in there, or I'm not sure if the people will respond. When someone gets referred and they get this random email, hey, Bob said you might like this. I don't think people will click on that. Well, all of those things might be correct assumptions, but the truth of the matter is some people do put real contact information in there, and some of those leads actually do opt in, and then some of those actually do become customers. And so it's free and it doesn't hurt to try. And so you may as well do it and see how it plays out in your business. Okay, so let's talk about social media strategies just a little bit here. To be most effective with social media, you must build an engaged audience. That's just key. And so here we're going to talk just a little bit about time requirements and really the effort you want to put into it. Because if you don't engage with that audience, if you don't get them engaged with you, then social media is not going to work. And so you've got to figure out, how much time am I willing to do this? Am I willing to dedicate to this? And how much time is actually worth it, knowing also that I might have to invest a lot of time up front before I start seeing results. Also, you can say, look, I don't have the time, but I'll pay for someone to do this for me. Okay, I'll either pay for the traffic, I'll just advertise instead of creating a social following, I'll just advertise on Facebook, or I'll pay someone in my business or a contractor to run the ads for us. So you can hire someone to run the ads, or you can run those ads internally. But either way, it's time. You're either going to spend the time yourself, or you're going to pay someone to spend that time for you to make this effective. Okay. It's also most effective in a group of people concentrated with your target market. So I see people often just like on their Facebook page or their personal Facebook profile, just posting stuff about their business, trying to drive traffic, trying to get some attention. Well, you're just throwing it out there into the ether. It's like driving down the freeway and yelling out the window, "Hey, everyone, buy my widget!" Right? The people that might hear you, if they do hear anything, very well may not be your target audience. So one way to do this is to join an already existing Facebook group and become a respected contributor. So this is where you've got to put in that time. You can't go into most groups and just start promoting your stuff. Most groups will just kick you out. Groups are not created to be promotional avenues. So you've got to go in knowing that you're going to invest time. You're going to become a respected contributor. You're going to go in there with a service mentality. I'm going to go in and serve other people. I'm going to help them solve their problems. I'm going to provide good advice for free. But in doing so, you set yourself up as an expert, and then you get people coming to you. I have done this in various different situations. We have clients who have done this very, very effectively. It's a great strategy to get into a really good, tight-knit Facebook group and become a respected contributor. And then only after establishing that value and trust can you then offer value, further value via free resources like lead magnets. Okay, so once you become that trusted source, you might be able to occasionally say, hey guys, you might be interested in this. We just created this particular video series or whatnot. And then it won't be seen as promotion because you've been in that community contributing for a while. All right, let's talk about social media lead capture because this is now a way that a lot of people, I'd say maybe even the majority of people, drive a lot of their traffic and a lot of their leads. And there's some additional ways other than just advertising and clicking over to a landing page that have developed over the last few years that are really pretty exciting. So if possible, you want to keep your leads within the social media platform. What this means is if you're advertising on Facebook, you want them to be able to opt in within Facebook without having to leave Facebook and go to a landing page. Studies have shown that they're more likely to stay, or they're more likely to opt in if they stay within the platform. Same goes for Twitter and other platforms as well. So that's where you get Facebook lead ads and Twitter lead gen cards. So here's what a Facebook lead ad looks like. So you're in Facebook, you're scrolling through, and you see the ad, and then the call to action, in this case it says subscribe, so you click on subscribe, then it has that little pop-up right within Facebook, and it says, hey, this company would like your personal information, are you okay sharing it with them? If so, you hit submit, and then you hit submit, and it says your information has been sent. So what's cool is it grabs your information that's already in Facebook. You don't have to go to an external landing page, you don't have to type in your information. This is particularly effective for mobile. Right? On mobile, people don't like typing in all their information. It's cumbersome to have to enter in your information, particularly if it's a long web form with lots of different fields. And so by using lead ads, you can capture that information directly without them having to enter anything. They just hit submit and give permission to your company to get that information. Now, what happens in this case is it's best to use something like SyncSumo. SyncSumo is a tool that connects your Facebook account and your Infusionsoft account. So if someone submits a lead ad like that, it can go straight into your Infusionsoft account and get started on a campaign. Okay, and then here's what it looks like in Twitter. Twitter lead gen cards. It's a similar type of thing. It's an advertisement within your Twitter list there, and you just hit, in this case, join our mailing list, and then there's an approval process similar to in Facebook, and then your contact information is just passed to that business. So it facilitates the process. It makes it easier for people to opt in, and they feel more comfortable doing so because it stays within the social media platform that they're already comfortable with. Okay, let's talk about some SEO tricks. I mentioned this a minute ago, that things have changed, and we don't want to do any, black hat stuff. We don't want to be trying to trick the search engines. We don't want to try and game the system. What we want to use is just solid strategies that can be very helpful. So you need to understand SEO practices for titles, keywords, descriptions, and good content, and just use those standard strategies, right? So make sure you're setting your titles, make sure you're setting your keywords, your descriptions, and then in your content, make sure it's solid content that is keyword rich, but don't try and do a bunch of keyword stuffing and tricking the system. Just use standard SEO practices and create really good content. The better content you create, the more people are going to link to it, and that's what creates the organic backlinks. So obviously buying backlinks, getting into link farms that link all over the place, not great ideas. Those will generally get you penalized now versus years ago, those things would actually help you. So here's a couple of ideas as well, though, that you may or may not be aware of. If you sell things online, what you want to do is you want to create product listings. So if I search in Google, you can see here I search wheatgrass. You see the normal organic results straight down below the search field. But over on the right, you see what are called product listings. Those product listings have an image of the product. They have a link to it. They have a price, and they have the company name. And then if you have ratings, it'll show the ratings. Okay, this is all very, very important because people are much more drawn to those product listings than they are the text listings over on the left. So if you're selling products online, you're going to want to create product listings. Here's another option. If I type in organic wheatgrass, it doesn't show up on the right. It shows up right at the top, which in some cases might be even better. So when you are selling online, you want to make sure you set up your product listings. Now, this is very easy to do if you're using WordPress, or most other shopping carts have the ability to add a plugin that will create a product listing feed. And then that product listing feed is read by Google and pulls those images and prices and everything right into those Google results. So we've done this with WooCommerce. I think the plugin is called WooCommerce Product Feed is all it's called, or something like that. And you just install that plugin, you go through a couple of configuration steps, and then lo and behold, your product starts showing up in that feed. What this does is two things. Obviously, it gets you more visibility because you've got an image and the ratings and all of those types of things. But in addition to that, it narrows down your competitive field, because now in those product listings, you're only competing against other companies that also have product listings. And that's not everybody. That's not all of the companies that are down below and the rest of the organic text links. So it's an effective strategy that you can use to get some better exposure for your products. Okay. Now that's only obviously for companies that are doing e-commerce, they're selling online. What if you're a local service business? Well, similar type of thing applies. So I typed into Google BoxUp Marketing, and you can see the listing that showed up on the right-hand side. So BoxUp Marketing shows a picture of our office from the street view in Google Maps, shows where we are on the map, shows the address, phone number. It shows some reviews and some other information down below. And so in addition to having the organic results show up right below the search box, we get that local listing. And that local listing is important. Again, it's better exposure for your business locally. And again, what happens here is your competitive field is narrowed. So if I go in and I search Carlsbad Marketing Company, you can see here's a different type of local listing. Shows the map, shows all of the different listings on the map, and then shows those actual listings down below where you can click to the website, or you can get directions, or you can call, all of those types of things. And so if you have a local business and you are not listed in the local listings, that's your first order of business. So you go to Google and you can go to local listings and you can submit all of the information about your business so that you can set up your local listing. So again, what this does is it narrows the competitive field. Now I'm only competing with all the other companies that have a local listing, and not every company has a local listing. And then also, these are going to be ranked on your standard SEO factors. And so if I can do SEO better than the top few people in my area, then that's a lot easier to compete with than trying to compete with all the companies across the world that I need to compete with if I'm doing it without a local listing. Okay, so if you have a local business, you need to get a local listing. If you sell online, you need to be setting up your product feed and feed your products into the Google search results. Okay, next topic here is determine where to focus. This comes down to lead source tracking. Okay, if you're not familiar with lead source tracking, I'll show you where you can get some free training on this that we have. But Infusionsoft has this powerful ability to track lead sources on every contact that comes in the door. You can capture where they came from. They came from a Facebook ad, they came from a Google pay-per-click ad, they came from a particular partner, whatever. And then what's cool is when you have all of that set up, you can go into Infusionsoft and look at the lead source ROI report, which will show you the expenses for each of those sources and the associated revenue. And then you can tell ROI, or return on investment. So we built a while back a tool called ROI Tracker. Now, why did we do this? Well, we did this because Infusionsoft will capture the lead source natively right now, but it does it in a very, very basic way. It's not granular enough to know exactly what's going on. So if you advertise on Facebook, say you've got 2 different campaigns running, and then you also do some social posting or just like organic posting on Facebook, all 3 of those sources would show up the same in Infusionsoft. They'll all say Facebook. Well, with our ROI Tracker tool, which is free, then you can track each of those things separately. So here's the URL. Just go to boxupmarketing.com/ROI-tracker. And I'm going to go ahead and put that into the questions box here. So give me just a sec here as I type that. And I'll send that to everybody. So that link is now in there. Okay, so you can go to boxupmarketing.com/ROI-tracker, and in ROI Tracker, or with the ROI Tracker tool, there's training in there. So there's 2 videos that you can use for training to learn about the concept of lead source tracking and learn how to utilize the ROI Tracker tool. But this will be very, very helpful in helping you analyze what's working and what's not working. What's actually generating leads, what's actually generating customers, and how much revenue is actually being generated by those customers. So you can track where every lead comes from, which source, which campaign, which ad, etc. You can get as granular as you'd like, or stay a little bit more general if you don't want all the details. And then, like I said, you can track expenses on those ads against the revenue generated from those contacts. So here's what it looks like when you're doing this right in Infusionsoft. Here's just from a dummy account. You can see the lead sources on the left. So here's Facebook-ROI Tracker-ad 1. And so that's assuming I'm doing an ad for ROI Tracker on Facebook, right? And so that's the lead source. It's in the category called social paid. I spend $12,500 on that ad. I get 0 revenue, 0 contacts, 0 customers. So that's a complete waste of time, right? And money, right? Now, I also have down here Facebook CB guide, right? So I promoted the campaign builder guide on Facebook. Social paid is the category. I spent almost $3,500 and it generated $13,405 in revenue. So my ROI is 283%. I can see that I got 13 contacts. So they essentially cost me $269.15 per contact. But I got 2 customers out of it, and those cost me $1,749 per customer. And then it shows me my conversion rate. 15% of my contacts became customers. Okay, so this is the type of data that you can see when you're using the Infusionsoft lead source tracking correctly. But in order to get the data into Infusionsoft correctly, you need to use a tool like ROI Tracker to get that in there. So I definitely recommend going and checking out that tool. You can access it for free. Just go to that URL that I put into the notes just now, and you can utilize that tool for free. It's a great help. This is really the key behind how we were so successful when I was running marketing at Infusionsoft, and we grew from 300 leads a month to 25,000 leads a month. It was all based on understanding this data. When I know each month, like in this case, hey, I wasted $12,500 on this ROI tracker ad, so next month I'm going to take that same budget, that same $12,500, and I'm going to put it into this ad, Facebook CB Guide, because that one makes me money. And every month, if you can make adjustments like that, take money away from the ads where you're losing money and put it towards ads that are making you money. You do that month in, month out, month in, month out, you're going to make money in your business. You're going to grow the business, I promise you. You can't do it wrong if you're making that decision every month. Let's take budget that we're losing and put it into a bucket where we're making money. Okay, so ROI Tracker, it's a free tool. You guys can go access it and make sure you get it implemented. The training is all there. If you have any questions, just hit us up on Facebook or something and we can help you there as well. Okay, so let's summarize what we've talked about. Again, we could go into so much detail on each one of these topics. I'm trying to hit some high-level ideas so that you can walk away from this with a few ideas that you can go execute on, okay? So first, create a great lead magnet. Then create a great landing page. Do this first and foremost. If you go out and you start trying to do some social promotion or trying to buy some ads or whatever, and you haven't really spent the time on this part first, you're going to waste your time and your money. Okay, leverage partners for free traffic and leads. Okay, the reason I call it free traffic and free leads is because they are free. Usually you'll set up a commission structure, and so you pay on the back end. And for most small businesses that are growing, it's much easier to pay the money on the back end once you've collected it than be paying up front and risking the chance that those leads come in and they don't buy. That's why partners can be so effective in a small business. All right, and then leverage your leads and customers for more, right? You can build all kinds of referral campaigns for customers, but don't forget those leads. Like I showed you, when leads come in the door, you might be able to leverage them for more leads. Use social media only if you can fully engage, okay? If you go and you start up some social media work, and then all of a sudden you've got a following and you've got people chatting to you on Facebook, sending you messages, whatever, and then you disappear, that's not going to look good for your brand, and it's not going to help you grow your business. Get listed in Google. So get those product listings up and get those local listings up. Those are key for most businesses, okay? And then focus on marketing with a positive ROI. Be looking at that data each month and making those shifts. Even if you're not spending money on advertising, you should still be using ROI Tracker. You ignore the expenses column for now, but you can look at the contacts and the revenue and the cost per contact. So you might be doing a bunch of social efforts. You might be working with some partners, etc. And if you can see, oh, wow, it looks like the effort that I'm putting forth in Facebook is much more effective than the effort I'm putting forth in Twitter. Well, I'm going to stop working in Twitter then. And it looks like my partners are the most effective, so I'm going to continue spending more time with them. So you may not be spending money, but you're spending time and effort. And so use ROI Tracker and the Lead Source ROI report to gauge better where you should be focusing your time and your effort. All right, so thanks everybody for attending. Just a quick bit on BoxOut. So we're a full service marketing agency that focuses on helping Infusionsoft customers. So we develop your strategy, we write copy, we build it all in Infusionsoft, we hook it to all the third-party tools, we integrate it with your website, we do all of that. So we're an Infusionsoft certified partner, we're certified with Fix Your Funnel and all the different tools they have, we're certified with building Memberium membership sites, and we're also digital marketer certified, which is a great asset to us in helping with additional marketing strategies and content. So if you're interested in working with us, whether it's helping you get more leads, helping you convert those leads, helping you put together a referral campaign, helping strategize with you on growing your business, we would love to help you. Just go to boxupmarketing.com/consult and you can request a consultation there. So what I'd like to do now is just open it up to questions. Hopefully you've got a few questions. We covered a bunch of random topics, kind of seemingly random, and we covered them at a fairly high level. So if you have a few more specific questions, I'd be happy to take those now. We'll spend a few minutes taking questions, and then we'll let you get all on with your days. All right, Cheryl's got a question here. Do you send the refer a friend emails in that 198 images campaign with Infusionsoft? Did you get complaints? It's a really good question. So one concern when you're doing a refer a friend thing like that is that you'll get spam complaints because the friends that are being referred have not opted in. So we've done this, obviously, you saw the campaign I showed you, and we've also helped a lot of our clients set up something similar. In no case have I ever seen an excess amount of spam complaints. And here's how we approach that. So when you put in your friend's information and you refer a friend, a contact record gets created for that friend, and that friend gets one email, and that's it. In some cases, we've done it where they get two emails. They get one email, and then a couple days later, we send a very basic follow-up. Now, in both cases, those emails are very simple, very plain, very short. So they're not super hypey. They're not real promotional. It's very casual. Hi, Bob. Your friend Joe thought you might like this. Here's a little summary. Here's a link. Click, and that's kind of it, right? And so we keep it really basic, really simple. Doesn't look promotional. Doesn't look really spammy. It's just a very simple email. And really, we haven't had any trouble with that. The key there is to make sure that those people are not opted into like your main list. So they don't get a tag to be on your weekly newsletter. We only will follow up with them beyond that initial sequence if they go and they request a lead magnet, if they actually opt in themselves. Then they'll be added to the main list and they'll get future broadcasts and they'll go into other campaigns, etc. But if they don't do that, then they only get that initial email or maybe one other follow-up. All right. Next question. Oh, that one's not a question, just a comment saying thanks. No problem. All right. Stephanie's asking, what's the name of the product feed plugin? Is it free? The one that I was referring to is free. I'm pretty sure off the top of my head, it's called WooCommerce product feed or product listing feed, something like that. And so if you're using WooCommerce, that works with WooCommerce. If you're using a different e-commerce platform, there are plugins for a lot of them. A lot of the third-party platforms already have a product feed option in there. You might just have to turn it on. And so, yeah, you'll just want to do a little research for your particular e-commerce platform and find out how you create a Google product feed. And then usually it's a free plugin. Like I said, with WooCommerce it is. All right, Jamie's got a question. Some landing pages capture a non-email detail first, and the next page collects email, but Infusionsoft wants email to create a contact. How can this be done? Yeah, good question. It's a really good question. So in that case, you'll have to use a form that's not an Infusionsoft form. So you might need to work with a web developer if you are not sure how to do this, or if you're using WordPress, you might be able to use a plugin like Gravity Forms or Typeform or something like that, where you can capture that first element, but then you'll probably want to pass it to the thank you page where you have an Infusionsoft form, and then pass it into a field in the Infusionsoft form so that it gets captured into Infusionsoft as well when the person puts in their contact information. All right, Travis, good question. How do I get a Google business listing again? Was distracted when you went through it the first time. All right, Travis, I didn't go into the details of how to set that up on the screen, but basically just go to Google and just type in, how do I set up a business listing? And I'm sure like the first result that comes up there will take you to the steps. Just follow those steps and you'll be good. To get a verified listing, see, Google actually does a pretty good job of scraping business directories and I don't know how they do it. They must have a deal with the phone companies or white pages companies or something. I don't know, but they'll pull in a lot of listings that you haven't created. But to claim it and to verify it, and then also to be able to control it a little bit, you need to verify your listing. And when you verify your listing, usually have a couple of options with Google. They'll send you or they'll send you an automated phone call. I think they might do a text now too. I can't remember. Or they'll send you a postcard in the mail, and you'll get some kind of code, and then you have to enter in that code to verify that you're the owner of that contact information and that listing, and then you can claim that listing. All right. Tina's asking for a summary of kind of the first whole section. Tina, what I'll do is I'll make sure you get a copy of the recording. Okay. For those that are still on, I don't want to go back and summarize, a good third of the presentation. I apologize, I can't do it now, but I'll make sure you get a link to the recording once this is all over, and then you can review it there. Okay. All right. Jasper says, thanks so much. Great value. I'm glad this was able to be helpful for you. All right. All right. Helen is asking, how good are referral partners, or how do you make them good? That's a great question. Great question. So let's talk about that a little bit. There's a few different ways you can work with referral partners. So one way is you promote for me, I'll promote for you. Okay. So maybe you're doing a launch, you get a referral partner to promote to their list about your launch. Then a few months later, they're doing a launch and you promote their launch. That can be very effective. At the same time, it'll create a relationship that is up and down, right? It's very much dependent on you promoting for them and them promoting for you, and it's kind of you get a big hit, you get a bunch of leads, and then you have downtime, right? And so that can be helpful, and you definitely want to do that with the right kinds of partners. But what can be really helpful as well is what we'll call evergreen partner promotions. So, for example, we sell services where we help Infusionsoft customers set up campaigns and whatnot, right? And so inside of our membership site, when people become clients of ours, we have various different courses and information and whatnot. And within our membership site, we have a lot of different, let's call it training or information about partners that we work with. So if you logged into our membership site, you could watch a webinar that Ryan Chapman did from Fix Your Funnel about SMS marketing. Also, if we ever build a campaign for you as one of our clients where SMS marketing is involved, or maybe it isn't involved yet, but it could be, it's an option that we suggest you add later, we'll put right into that campaign a little note with a link to Fix Your Funnel using our affiliate link. And so if you click on that and you go sign up for Fix Your Funnel in the future, we'll get affiliate credit and they'll know that you came from us. And so that's evergreen, right? It's happening as part of our normal everyday process. If you sell online, you can do that online as well, where maybe it's an upsell. Someone buys your product, and then as they're checking out, you say, hey, you might also want to get one of these, and it happens to be a partner's product. Or when they're checking out, you have a little checkbox in the cart that says, hey, check here to get information from one of our partners about how you can better blah, 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 blah. And so you put a little opt-in for your partner right there. That could be in a web form. It could be in a shopping cart checkout, whatever it may be. And so those types of things are going to produce a consistent flow of leads from that partner. If you build it into your existing processes where you have leads coming in all of the time. And so to make really good referral partners, you want to have both of those things happening, Helen. You want to build in some evergreen things on both sides. So they are constantly flowing some leads your direction. You're constantly flowing some leads their direction. And then you still, when it's important launch promotions or things like that, you still help each other out as well. And so that's really the way to do that. The other thing too is schedule time to have calls or even face-to-face meetings with those partners on a regular basis. So we have a few different partners that we work with. I've got Memberium and Fix Your Funnel on the screen there, and there are a few others. And what we do is we try and get together a few times a year. So we'll get together at ICON, we'll get together at PartnerCon, and then a couple of them live in Utah. I'll fly up to Utah once or twice a year and meet with them. Whenever they're in town down here, we'll try and meet. It's the face-to-face, personal relationship that really drives the whole thing. And so you want to make sure you're having that relationship. And outside of the affiliate or referral relationship, you're actually just good friends and you're helping each other out in other ways, whether it's kind of mastermind type help or you're helping each other do things like that. So the more you can deepen that relationship by having some face-to-face conversation and helping each other beyond what is just part of the referral agreement, the more you're going to have a very successful partnership. All right, Stephanie's asking, I use Infusionsoft e-commerce. Do they have it? No, they don't. I think Stephanie's referring to the product listing plugin. There is no product listing plugin for Infusionsoft, so that can be a problem. But you're not down and out. So the product listing really, it's I think it ends up being an XML file or a CSV file that is read by Google, and so you can actually just go in and manually create one of those files. It'll have the product name, it'll have the product price, it'll have a description, and then it'll have a URL to the product image. So your images are hosted in Infusionsoft Shopping Cart. You can link to those images within that file. So you might have to manually create that file and then manually put it onto your web server and then go tell Google, hey, here's where that file exists. And then Google can start reading it. Anytime you change pricing or product images or descriptions, you'll have to update that file as well manually. So the nice thing about those plugins is they read that information from your WordPress, WooCommerce, or whatever third-party platform you're using. It'll just read it automatically and keep it updated. But even if you're not using one of those, if you're using Infusionsoft, for example, you can create that file and have it fed to Google as well. So you're not totally out of luck. All right, thank you guys. A lot of thanks going on here. Jamie says this was a great webinar. You're a great marketing teacher. Will a replay be available? Yes, there will be a replay. I'll get that out to everybody probably either late tonight or tomorrow. Okay. Tina says fantastic. Thanks. Cindy's asking for a recording. Yes. Stephanie, another good question. How much should I offer affiliate partners for a $30 product? Should it be flat fee or percentage? What is attractive to partners without giving away the farm? Really, really good question. So obviously, the more you can offer them, the more it's going to incentivize them. But you need to make money. So I don't know what you're selling, Stephanie. I don't know what the structure of your products is. But let's just say $30 is like an entry-level product for you. And then once you get those people in, you're upselling them into a $100 product, $1,000 product, $50 a month, whatever it may be. If you have a back end like that, then you want to give away as much of the front end as possible. If I were selling a $30 product and then I was trying to get those people into $100 a month on a subscription, I might give that whole $30 to the partner. Say, look, for everyone you get to buy this $30 product, I'll give you all the $30. Because I know that on the back end, I'm going to try and upsell them into $100 a month. And if I get them into $100 a month, then I'm making money, right? So you need to balance out your margins because you don't want to be losing money unless you're using it as a loss leader, right? You're losing money on purpose to incentivize the partners so that you can get them into a back-end product or service. And as long as you know what your conversion rates look like there and you know that's going to work out positively for you, then you can go into that confidently and lose money. But overall, you want to make sure you're not losing money or you're cutting deeply into your margins. And then you need to balance that out with what's enough of an incentive for partners, right? So I can't tell you, one size fits all answer, but that's kind of my advice there. All right, Helen saying thanks. Stephanie saying thanks. John's asking, do you get any registration discounts for Infusion Con? You know what? Unfortunately, not. Actually, I think as partners, we do get a promo code, but I think it's the same promotion that they're running right now, which you can get like $100 off. So if you can't find the $100 off promo code, let me know, and I'll dig through my communications from Infusionsoft and get it to you. But I think right now they're no longer offering the buy one get one free. I think you're still getting a slight discount on the ticket overall. And then with a promo code, I think you can still get $100 off the current price even further. So that is an option. Okay, I think that handles all the questions, and we're a little bit past top of the hour. So we're going to go ahead and wrap up here. If you have further questions, go ahead and go to boxoutmarketing.com/consult. You can request a consult there, and we can talk through it with you. Maybe we can just help you out on the phone, and then we might also be able to engage in a service agreement with you and help you even further, okay? So thanks a lot. The recording of this webinar will be available sometime in the next 48 hours. Keep an eye on your email, and you'll get it there. If for whatever reason you don't get that email because it ends up in caught in spam filters or whatever, then go ahead and just log into our membership site, and you'll be able to find the recording there under Global User Group Recordings. Okay, thanks everybody. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.